Yeah, we haven't figured out all of that yet, but there's a lot of confidence in all of those guys that were playing. So we're still trying to put it all together, not just on who starts, but on the best groupings, when to sub, how to get certain guys the appropriate rest, and then some of it is obviously based on how they're doing in that moment in time. But today, those starters were based on how they've done in practice over the last 2.5 days.
You take a little bit of risk changing your schedule around to add these three games. Coming in now, winning two of them, is it a little bit of the reward part of that risk, seeing how you played?
Yeah, the one thing, Travis, I just told the team, Boise was the last game we scheduled because nobody in the world wants to play Boise. And the other team that nobody in the world wants to play is St. Mary's. And so that's why the doubleheader is those two teams. You could put San Diego State in that group, but if you study the numbers of those three programs west of the Mississippi, they're as good as anybody. They're as good as Arizona. They're as good as UCLA numerically. They don't have the maybe exposure of those other two schools. So I'm very thankful and excited for the step that we took tonight. We'll treat our guys' bodies and brains right tomorrow, but we've got to have a good day of work on Friday. I think they finished, I can't remember, I have too many numbers in my head, SMU-wise, but Boise finished with an incredibly high net, and as I mentioned to you, I think yesterday, Colorado beat us from start to finish in a very embarrassing way, and then the next day, Boise beat them pretty close to the same. So our staff has done a lot of prep work leading into what will be 2 days before tomorrow. I've done none, but I'll do some tonight because we need to take the next right step on Saturday night.
At halftime, I know the little intentional foul play that you did. What was the?
Yeah, it's a deal that we've been studying. I was a little rushed. We probably haven't practiced it as much. It's a mathematical deal. I know you know, otherwise you wouldn't ask. But how did we do on that last possession?
Missed.
And what was who missed what? What does it say?
It was a fadeaway three in the back corner. I can't remember who took it, but
Oh, yeah. So the action was good then. Yeah, we were trying to obviously do a 2-for-1 college style, and then it's just based on the how much time is left in the game or in the half, and you're just trying to cheat a possession. So, yeah, we had 70 possessions tonight according to this. So,
Buzz, I'm curious.
thanks for asking.
I'm curious about the defensive effort in that about 10-minute stretch where they.
Just played with overwhelming effort. I think if we're talking about the same 10 minutes, the one thing that hurt us in that stretch was we didn't finish enough of those possessions with a defensive rebound. I think in the first half they had 8 offensive rebounds, and that was what skewed the numbers so bad. We were flying around. Guys that were making mistakes were we had other guys behind them recovering and covering up those mistakes. I thought our effort and the communication within that effort was as good as it's been. There was a lot of we weren't surprised. This guy is about to do this, and I know because he's about to do this, I know what I'm supposed to do next. And I felt that way offensively for sure. 17 assists on 30 baskets, only 9 turnovers, so our highest assist of the year. Is that right? 4 played with 9 assists and 0 turnovers, low turnover rate. And I felt the same thing defensively. We've gotten in a groove since Saturday at Myrtle Beach where you could argue that the first 72 to 74 minutes of practice, we just do the same thing over and over. and it's defensively what we do over and over is what every possession in essence becomes because of how we play defensively. And so we've spent more time repping what a possession will become regardless of their play. The back end of their play, we've been repping that, and it's our guys are much more aware. Some of it is from the reps. Some of it is we're showing them a lot of film of us. I thought that stretch that you're talking about, we have to fix our defensive rebounding problem somehow. But in that stretch, it was not an issue with our effort and care.
Hey, Buzz.
Is your family doing okay?
I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, I asked about you the other day. You met Brad? He's really good. Evan got a promotion. He's an associate AD in charge of strategic communications, whatever that means.
He called me Injecto-Mitt back in the day when we played softball together. I still don't know what that means.
Yeah, I remember parts of what the issue is. I hope that it's okay. I mean that sincerely. I know you're not supposed to talk to the media like that.
No, it's 48-18 points in the paint. I think it was 24-12. So even better in the second half. What was the key there?
Yeah, and I didn't think, as good as Henry was, I didn't think Henry started the game very well. I think he missed 3 bunnies, and I had like deja vu of Myrtle Beach versus Murray State when he missed 3 bunnies and went 1 of 6. And at DePaul, if you watch that game, he played with more poise at the right pace within 6 feet of the basket than he's played since he got here. And I go on the court for pregame to try to touch our guys individually, and that was one thing I mentioned to him. I said, "Hey man, against DePaul, your poise and your pace, it was like the best I've ever seen." And he said, "Yeah, I watched it, and I'm trying to slow down." And I go, "You just need to keep doing that." And so I subbed him out after the first time. I go, "Hey man, you remember what we talked about?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, I thought you were sped up there, but then from that point forward, we're playing off of 2 feet as a perimeter players, much better. And then I think Bug is gifted in a lot of ways offensively, and Henry is beginning to have that poise in it. We put pressure on the rim, and that was good.
Time for a couple more?
Coach, no win is easy to get, but
It's hard to win with A being capitalized game.
so how important is just, a non-conference win? You said each scenario you've been playing 2.
Yeah, I think this one has turned into 3. Thanks for remembering that I said that. It's been disjointed. I think partly it's been disjointed because of the schedule that we played that Travis mentioned. I think partly it's been disjointed just because of the timing of the opponents that we've played. Played 2 home games. I thought we did some good things. Playing an earlier season Thanksgiving tournament than normal. I was a very poor leader in assuming we were going to take the next right step. Those first 2 games in Myrtle Beach, I understand we lost twice, and our team and myself will be judged accordingly. But it felt like one long day. We played the 3rd game in we played the 2nd game in Myrtle Beach. We drive 45 minutes to the hotel. It's 9 o'clock, and now we're playing at noon, so we're back at the arena at 10. It just seemed like one big, long, miserable day. I think Saturday we had a good step. Sunday we came back to life a little bit. Traveled back really late Sunday. Off 2 days after 5.5 days East Coast time. Full day of work on Wednesday, and then we're working on Thanksgiving, and then a noon tip on Black Friday. So it's just been disjointed, and that's why in some regards, that's why I'm excited about today. We were able to practice 2 days in a row, and it feels as though we took the next step after the first road game. And now it's a quick turn because we'll leave Friday afternoon to drive to Fort Worth and play against a team who offensively is one of the more unique teams in the country. And so can we handle the next 36 hours the right way, physically, mentally, and emotionally to get ready for another neutral site? Yeah.
You had 7 3-pointers coming into this game. How much of the halftime adjustments was focusing on getting surprised that it didn't?
He's a good player, leading scorer, leading shot taker. Number 10 was right behind him. Obviously, he's from here. Great family, great human. And if you study their numbers, 10 would shoot the three way more than one, and then one got to cooking, and we were struggling. And then I do think we at least calmed it down some, but he was still very effective in the second half.
You guys went on a 28-9 run there in the second half. Is that as good a level of basketball as you guys have played so far this year?
Yes, sir, I would say so. And it doesn't make sense all the time, but statistically speaking, we have been better in the second half, offensively and defensively, than we have been in the first half. So to the first question, that's why we're still trying to figure that out. We're starting the same guys in the second half that we do the first half. And then the other thing that has been a statistical anomaly is our ATOs, offensively and defensively. Like tonight in that run that you mentioned, I don't know how many timeouts were called, but for the game, we were 1.15 offensively and 0.58 defensively. And so if you, in SEC games in the 3 years that I've been here, if you only talk about dead ball, in other words, when the clock's not moving, it's 18% of the 18% of the game, which ends up being a lot of possessions. And so that's been a number that we've really tried to pay attention to. And tonight we had 13 possessions offensively ATO, which scored 15 points, and they had 12 possessions when they were on offense. We were on defense, and they scored 7. So 1.15 OER and 0.58 defensively. Those are it was a 70 possession game, so you're talking about 18% of the possessions were ATO, which was good.
All right, that's a wrap.
Thank you, guys.